People are fleeing Puerto Rico, Guam, and every other U.S. territory. What gives? That's the headline of an article in the Washington Post published this weekend. The report using the 2020 census numbers highlighting the decline.
It is disappointing.
Angelo Villagomez is now a senior fellow with the Center for American
I'm
Progress.
very lucky.
He was born on
I've
Guam and is
worked
from
in.
Saipan. Post-college, he returned to Saipan where he worked in environmental conservation. He also created the coalition Beautify CNMI, but that was nearly a decade and a half ago.
But the reason I left was, I was looking for sort of like the next big thing in my career, and the opportunities were in Washington D.C.
A 3.5% decline in population recorded between 2010 and 2020 on Guam and down 12.2% in the NMI, according to the US Census Bureau. The Washington Post analysis showing the drop in population a result of issues like declining manufacturing, lack of healthcare, falling birth rates, brain drain, and climate change.
So for me personally, it was, economic opportunity. I have greater material wealth, but I've given up, close ties to my culture. I've given up close ties to my family. I'm 14 hours behind and 8,000 miles away, so I've missed that. But I think folks have different reasons. Economics is definitely a part of it. On Saipan, climate change definitely plays a role. Our islands have been devastated by two typhoons over the last 7 years, and that had effect on our economy. And then also COVID. I have a couple of friends who had businesses in CNMI, and it just didn't work out. They did not make it through COVID, even with the federal funds.
University of Guam economist Dr. Roseanne Jones stated in the article, it's really troubling for our middle class and our students who graduate here. They're beginning to say this is a very challenging place economically to build and raise a family to commit to.
Home will always be home, and uh, to a certain degree, this has kind of been the story of the United States for the last 150 years.
Villagomez saying what needs to change is voting representation for the territories in the U.S. Senate and Congress. For now, it appears the trend of more leaving the islands will continue.
Generation right now, we're doing a little bit of back and forth, but for the diaspora that are born in the mainland United States, it's just going to be a lot more difficult for them to get to back home and, meet their family and learn about our culture and what it's like living on the islands.